Hello scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today with a new layout for you. Now this one is a Pinterest collaboration and you will have seen the pin that I decided to use. It is from a good friend here on YouTube and her name is Gray Florals, also known as Caitlin Clary. And I absolutely love her layouts and her videos and everything. She's a scrapbooker that is more like my own style, and so it's fun to kind of see the different layouts that she makes because it's more of my own style. Okay, so first off, her layout did call for some mixed media, and I realized I had a stencil that was a triangle just like she had. I think hers was different. I'm not sure whose hers was from. But this one I got in a Secret Not Secret kit, and I have used it a few times. But I pulled out this like gold paint. I don't even know who it's from, but I haven't really used it a ton, and it's kind of starting to dry out. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to use this. So I do like a big area down here on the bottom, and then a littler area up here at the top. And then over on the right hand side, I do another little area. And this is pretty much the same as Caitlin did it on her layout. And I really, really love how this turned out. And this just goes to show that you can do super simple mixed media and it doesn't have to take a long time and it doesn't have to be extravagant. Okay, now you can see that I have set aside the background, and now I'm going to start working on the photos and the layering behind the photos. So Caitlin's layout only calls for one image, and it was a 4x4, but I have these two photos of me on Christmas morning, and Mark had surprised me with a new silhouette, and this is a brand new silhouette. This was so exciting. I was totally not expecting it. And yeah, so it's really awesome. This was the, let's see, Silhouette Cameo 3. And I told him, and I had been telling him for years and years that I want a newer silhouette. And when they came out with this current silhouette, I think this was the year that it came out. So 2017, I think, is when this photo was taken. I can't believe I've had it for that long. That's so crazy. That feels like so long. It doesn't even feel like that. Anyway, so I kept saying, I really want a silhouette. I really want a silhouette for like 5 years. And he had gotten me one for Christmas in 2012. And so, of course, they keep coming out with newer versions, you know, every few years, but they weren't really changing it up enough to make it worthwhile to pay, you know, $200 or $300 for it. So finally, they came out with a Bluetooth version, which is the Cameo 3. And then also they have two places to put two different types of pen tools and things. So he got it for me. I told him that's what I wanted for Christmas, and I kind of told him a few other things, but I told him I really wanted the silhouette. I figured he wasn't going to get it for me. So that bottom photo actually needs to be on the top because that was the first picture he took, and I accidentally switched them up. But it's of me just being like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe that this is what you got me. And it was just a really exciting moment. So here you can see I have picked out the paper that I'm going to put behind the photo that stretches from the top to the bottom. It is this cute white paper with a couple different colors of trees. And then I'm going to put that gold plus sign and that dusty pink on the left side. And I'm really loving how this is turning out. This is probably my absolute favorite layout I've made in a very long time. Okay, so now here everything is dry. And I'm going to start gluing everything down. But before I can do that, I am going to decide to ink the edges. And so I'm going to pull out a bunch of different pink colors from Close to My Heart. And so I've got, let's see, Blossom and Bashful and Raspberry. And then this one that I finally end up with is called Pixie. And I don't think I've ever actually used this color before. This is a newer color that I got recently, I think towards the end of last year, beginning of this year. So I'm just going to ink one of my daubers, and then I'm going to ink all the edges of all the papers. And so this takes a little bit, and I just really love the way it looks. I love how it just makes the papers pop off of the background, and that background is a mint color. I can't remember if it's from Close to My Heart. I want to say it is Close to My Heart mint, but I could very well be wrong. It could be someone else. I'm not super organized with these things, if you haven't noticed. Okay, so here you can see I'm just gluing down each one of these pattern papers and cardstock pieces, and I'm just really, really absolutely loving how this is turning out. I wasn't quite sure how it would look and how it would work with the two 4x4 photos, and so I'm really, really, really happy with how it did turn out, and then it doesn't look too cluttered, because that was one of the things I was a little worried about, because she had so many layers and things behind her photos that, or her one photo, that it just looked perfect with the one photo, and so I was a little bit worried about that, looking like it was too photo heavy or too side heavy, but it works out really, really well. So here I'm going to glue this piece down. Oh, I decided to glue my photos down because at first I wasn't sure if I liked that diagonal striped paper, but then I decided, you know, I do like it, so I'm going to glue them down for good. And then here I'm going to glue down the rest of this dusty pink piece, and I'm going to put a little bit of this over in that cluster where the mixed media is. And I really, really love how that turns out. It does look a little weird with it not having the white showing though, so I am going to pull that off. So this must be Close to My Heart paper, because they're one of the only people that I really buy colored paper from that has the white inside, and I love the white inside look. Here I'm just using some skinny washi tape to bring out a turquoise color, and I'm adding it in both of these spots on the layout. And now I'm thinking, okay, we need another layer behind the photo. So I pull out this gold foiled tree piece, and it was kind of like a minty color, a little bit darker than the background, but not too much darker. And then I decided, you know, I don't really like the gold plus signs being right next to the gold trees. It just looked off to me. So I decided to go with this diagonal stripe, and that's just a teal color. And it works out perfect. I absolutely love how that looks. Then I'm going to go ahead and, oh, I think this is where my glue gun breaks. So if you guys have ever wondered why there is that little plastic piece on the glue gun part that's on the right, well, there is a purpose for it, and I have discovered what it is. Because for some reason I didn't put it back on, and I have lost my little tape guard that goes on in my ATG gun, and it absolutely sucks because it keeps like coming undone. So here you can see it's like all unraveling, and it's like hitting the top, and it's trying to come off, and so I end up having to just pull it all off, and then I just have to tape it onto the roll. And it, oh my goodness, I'm just like, so there is a purpose for that black little stopper thingy. It's supposed to stop your tape roll from coming off and like trying to wind itself around again, because that's what it starts to do. It like tries to wind itself around again. It's weird. So there is a purpose to it. If you have an extra one, send it my way, because I honestly have no clue what I would have done with it. And yes, my room is a little messy, so it could be buried under piles of stuff, but who has time to clean up a mess, right? Okay, now here I'm going to start bringing in some embellishments. And a lot of these are from an old, I think it was Pink Fresh Christmas line or something. I want to say Pink Fresh, but I can't remember. So I just wanted to do a little teeny tiny bit of embellishing. I didn't want it to be crazy. So I decided to use a frame and then a couple of just little embellishments. This one in the bottom says naughty, nice, and then it has a little check mark box if you want to check it. And then I also have a little rubber sticker that says, what does it say? Sparkle and Shine. And then that one at the top says Christmas Wishes. And I think that is pretty much all I'm going to do with this layout. I am going to kind of fuss with the rubber piece down on the bottom because it does have that really bad glue, and I've had a bad experience with the glue being too greasy and then it ruins the whole layout. So I am going to pull that off after I glue all of these other embellishments down. Okay, next up I'm going to work on the title, and I still have not decided on what my title is going to be. So I'm using this Pink Fresh Studio Wood Veneer Alpha, and I was thinking I want the title to be The Big Surprise or something like The Silhouette Surprise or something like that, but the word surprise is so long compared to the words the and big. So maybe I'm going to do the silhouette surprise or something like that. But hopefully I will have figured it out so that you can see it in the photos at the end. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you follow along with Crystal this month as she is doing this fun little series. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.